Kristen, Kyle, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us come on. Just wrapping up our trip, 3 days. And the big takeaway here is I never travel any place just to see one person. So when you sales guys are out there traveling, you need to then try and find 1 or 2 or 3 other people to see.
The commodity manager of Electrolux wanted me to text her. That was her preferred method of contact. She was getting 200 emails a day. She said, just text me. This was 5 years ago. I'm like, okay. Literally could get her every time.
What's up, guys? Kyle Milan here with Manufacturing Tribe TV. Today we're at MD&M Minneapolis show.
You're always going to remember that person that was different than everybody else. So let's talk standing out and being unique.
We're back with another episode. We've increased some of our production value, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. Brett's got a question. How segmented do you make the emails every 2 to 4 weeks? Are you sending to the broad group of contacts or new customers? I think that you could do it both ways, but I think in general, everybody needs to see your content. Everybody needs to see something that you're creating and something that you can provide value to.
You can tell a story a whole lot faster in a 3-minute video than you can in a 14-page article or 10 2-page articles.
Everything's about brand awareness and content right now, and it will continue to be that. So focus on producing some sort of content, and if you're selling B2B, which I'm assuming most people here are, focus on LinkedIn.
Number one, we do not charge for this stuff. I put all of my content out there for free. Send it to somebody that you feel may get some value out of it, and also engage. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. We'll get to all of the comments after the break. Those comments mean the world to us because it shows that you guys care. So don't just sit there and watch, but please engage and hit those thumbs on LinkedIn. What is up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan, and welcome to the show today. For those of you that are new to the show, I'm going to explain the format a little bit. First, we go into the beef of the subject. Then we go into the comment section after a short 90-second break. So what I would like people to do is if you have questions, comments throughout the talk, then I would like you to leave them in the comment section so that way we can queue those up for when we get back from the break. Also, if you're new, understand that we're streaming right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. For those of you that don't know, we do have all of this content on the YouTube channel. Over 200 videos are up there talking all about technical sales, marketing, industrial marketing, business, things like that, because that's the world that I live in. And we also have a podcast. So if you guys prefer to listen to the stuff and not watch it, then feel free to check out the podcast. Just type in my name on Apple Podcasts, Google, it's everywhere. Or you can look up the show, Technical Sales and Marketing, and you can listen to it as you're doing other things. So if you've been struggling with increasing your revenue and you're looking for some hacks on how to do it, today we're going to be talking about attention. On this episode, I'm going to break down the main 2 categories of it. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about attention. What do you think of when I say the word attention, right? People getting attention, and why is it important to increase revenue? So we're going to break it down into 2 sections. First, we're going to talk about the why, then we're going to talk about the how to get it. So why is attention important? Think about everything that you own, anything that you've ever bought, any service you've ever signed up for. You did not do that. You did not sign up for it without that company getting your attention somehow, whether it was doing advertising, whether it was doing snail mail, anything like that. Like, they did something to get your attention. They pitched their value proposition, and then they went and convinced you that they had the solution for whatever problem it is that you have. But without getting attention, you would have never known about it. I mean, think about every single product, the coolest things out there. You can have the best product for our industrial and manufacturing group that we're talking to right now. You guys can have the best service. You can have the best product. You can have the best technology. You can have all of that. And if nobody knows about it, then you're not going to get any revenue, right? You have to get attention. Money follows attention. It's just a law of nature. Like, the person that is the loudest, the person that is getting the most eyes on it will get attention. Sometimes it's bad attention, right? Look at it from a politics standpoint, look at it from social media, look at it from every day-to-day life. People that are the loudest are going to get attention. Sometimes it's for the bad. But how can you break it down on, once you understand that and you grasp it, if I get enough attention, I'm going to get enough people that are paying attention to me. Now, what you do with that attention is up to your service, your sales, your skills, the solution that you have. And that's going to dictate whether or not you take it from just getting attention into turning into a customer and increasing revenue. But the first step is you have to get attention, right? I think that most people here would agree with that statement. If you agree with it, put it in the comment section. Say, I agree. You got to get attention. There's so many times that we talk to companies at MFG Tribe and they're like, we're the best, man. Like this new technology we have, it's way better. It's faster. It's more efficient. It's solving problems at a massive scale, but nobody knows about us because they're getting no attention, because they're not doing anything to get attention. Or if they are doing something, it's not the right tactic or the right area of where they should be focusing their time to get that attention. So let's jump right into how do you get it, right? So if you agree that you need attention in order to increase revenue, good or bad attention, if you agree that you need it, then how do you get it? So the way it's working these days, and industrial and manufacturing people are still fighting it every day. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I'm still doing the same way that I've been doing it. The best way to do it right now, as we're shooting this, and probably for at least the next 12 months, is you have to create content. You have to create something, and in order to put it in front of somebody's face to get them to stop and pause, engage on that piece of content, and then decide whether or not they want to do more research into your service, into your product, into your capabilities, or not. But people think that just creating a single piece of content is all you need to get attention, and then judging the creative and A/B testing it and doing different ways, but still doing a singular tactic. Like, I'm going to create a graphic and I'm going to put it out in all these different places, or I'm going to write an email, or I'm going to write some copy, and I'm going to do it through email and on social. I'm going to do it all these different areas. And they're like, oh, this doesn't work. This didn't work. It could just be what you created, or it could just be the fact that one single piece of content is not going to work. I've been making videos for almost 3 years now, right? And so if you're just coming across me, like, I could be like, oh, it's my fault. It is my fault that you haven't seen this content sooner because we weren't pushing out hard enough. But a lot of people will be like, oh, it's just because you're not paying attention, right? I'm creating content, but you're not paying attention. Yeah, but I didn't get enough attention to get inside in your inbox, in front of your feed. So many people are like, dude, I just came across your content. Like, I've been looking for this for multiple years. Yeah, that's my mistake that you haven't found it, right? You have to take ownership of that. But we create a lot of content and we put it everywhere. And still there's people that are just coming across and like, this is good stuff. And if it's bad stuff, then they tell us and then we adjust our strategy. But you have to look at it like it's not just a singular piece of thing that's going to get attention. You have to push on multiple fronts. So number one is going to be you have to create content. You have to do it consistently. You have to do it regularly, and you have to do a lot of it. It is not just going to be a single 5-minute company overview video that goes on your website. You paid $15,000 for it from a production company. It lives on your website, and that's it. Or you post it to LinkedIn on social once every 6 months. It has to be dozens of videos. It's not just a single article that your team wrote or that you have an agency that does that, that's doing your content marketing. Most of the time, agencies don't write the best articles because they don't have the experience. That's why people come to us at MFG Tribe, because we do have the industrial experience, so we can write pretty much about anything, including with our team of engineers that write the stuff. They know stuff and they can do research, but it has to be not just a singular piece of content. It can't just be a single article. It has to be multiple articles, one a week, one every 2 weeks. So 2 a month, every single month for 12 months, putting it out there. Then you got to look at the distribution side of it. Where's it going to go to? So it has to go on LinkedIn. It doesn't need to go on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all that stuff, unless you're like a machine shop or something that's making cool stuff where it can be summed up in an image. You're going to get the most attention on LinkedIn. So it's got to go on LinkedIn. You've got to be doing email marketing to collect people's contact information, to be able to market valuable information back to them. It has to go on your website, right? It has to be like, it's focusing, like I've talked about so many times, it's this omnipresence, being everywhere all at the same time. Running paid advertising for that. Shoot a video that's really informative, that's a good piece of content, run paid ads on it. Run paid ads through Google, put it on YouTube, run paid ads. Like, there's so many different things you can do, but it all starts with one piece of content. Right. And even getting attention just in general, you have to create something. It could be a 2-sentence post on LinkedIn, but you have to create something first. It doesn't have to be a fancy 3-minute video or a 5-minute video or like these 20-minute videos. It doesn't have to be like that. But it has to be something written or something visual for somebody to see. It could be a graphic, an infographic, but it can't just be one. And that's a point that I really want to drive through to people is that the industrial manufacturing groups are like, I'm going to do it 2022. I'm going to create content. And then we talk to them there and we're like, dude, you need 2 articles a month. You need, 12 videos a quarter. The way we do it is very affordable to do that stuff. We're not like a production house. It's like 15 grand per video. 12 videos a quarter. We're going to be pushing them out every week for the entire year. That's how you get attention, right? It's who's the noisiest, who's the loudest, where are people seeing this stuff? How do I be everywhere all at the same time? You have to create some piece of content. Your website is your digital business card that always lives there. When people go to the website, are they wowed by it? Right? The first step is create the website, make it engaging, improve the UX, make sure there's good content out there. The second step is to get attention to that website. So how do you get attention to that website? It has to be focusing on social. It has to be focusing on email marketing. It has to be a portion of it on Google Ads. You can say, oh, trade shows. I go to trade shows, right? Because that's finally coming around now that COVID has subsided significantly. So I'm going to go to trade shows, and that's how I'm going to get attention, is I'm going to have a booth, but then look at the people at trade shows. I know anybody that's ever been to a trade show, you know what I'm going to say. Most people at trade shows literally stand there and look like this. They just stand there and wait for people to walk by, wait for people to make eye contact, and they're looking straight down at their badge. Are you somebody that I want to talk to? That's what the salesperson at those trade show booths are saying. Like, even if you talk to me, I'm looking at your badge. Are you somebody of authority? Are you a decision maker? Are you just going to waste my time? Look at the guys that make trade shows work. There's tons of, like, if you have to do a trade show, we have clients that do trade shows. If you have to do it, we have a very strategic way about promoting it. But the people at the booth, like, you got to do stuff ahead of time with email marketing and on social and create engaging content, create a web page on your website to try and outrank the show for their own SEO. We've done it. MD&M Minneapolis. I don't know how many times our customers have been number 1 or 2 on Google search because of the web page that we made. And we outranked the show themselves for SEO. It got a ton of attention to those companies. Now, was it general attention? Yeah. In that situation, it was. But people knew the brand after they went to that show. But if the people at the trade shows aren't getting out to get attention, getting out of the booth to get attention, you're only relying on waiting for people to come that see something behind you, that think that whatever they see is good enough for them to step into that booth and ask you a question. Or maybe they have a need. Oh, I realize I do have a need for that. What is it that you guys do here? But if you don't go out in that aisle and get attention, then you're just sitting there waiting, which is what a lot of industrial manufacturing companies do. And if you work for a company that does that, that's fine. You may not be able to change it. They may be so big that you're like, dude, I can't change it. Like, we're $80 million a year company. I'm not going to convince them of anything different. Then you be the change. You lead by example. When you go to that trade show, don't sit down once. Don't look at your phone. Stand in the aisle. Draw attention into your booth. It may be like they're going to get people that aren't a fit. You need to draw them into the booth. You need to engage with them and talk to them. And even if you look at it, it's practice, right? This person is an inventor. I know they're not going to buy from me. I know they're not a good fit for me, but I'm practicing my speech. I'm practicing my pitch. I'm having engaging conversations. And guess what? How many go think about the trade shows, like the bigger ones with like some of the big names at it, robotics companies that are like playing basketball, changing NASCAR tires at them. Like that's happened at NPE before with like the robotics company like Whitman. What ends up happening? There's a commotion. There's people around this thing. Other people are like, holy crap, there's attention over there. I want to go see what's going on. There's a car crash. You drive past it. You stop and look. You're putting your attention on it, right? That's what it's like. So even if you get people in your booth that aren't a good fit, guess what? People are going to be like, what are they doing over there? I want to go see what's going on over there. They're getting attention, and I want to see what it's about. Everything comes down to attention. You can use advertising to get attention. I mean, you could pretty much shape this entire conversation I'm having with you right now and say, this is why you need to do advertising, to get attention. But you can do it the wrong way. But what you can't do the wrong way is create content. It could be so basic and simple. Even if it's not the best piece of content, it's something. If you do enough of it, you get better. And if you do enough of it, you get loud enough, and you will get fans to come in and be like, hey, I saw your videos about explaining the durometer difference in this poured urethane. I didn't even know that stuff. I saw all these videos about how to calculate, deflection, whatever it is. Like I read these articles. You've got this calculator on your website. You pushed it out there. I saw it. I was able to calculate whatever it is that they do, getting attention. It all comes down to attention. If you don't get attention, then you have no revenue. You can sit and wait, and you can wait for people to come to you, or you can go on the offense and pull that attention into your theoretical trade show booth. And that's what you have to do every single day. This is not a once a week thing, once a month thing. Some support team, marketing agency, hopefully us at MFG Tribe, is creating content for you on a daily, consistent basis, giving you tools that you can push out there. Hopefully that's happening. If it's not, take it upon yourself to create some piece of attention. You could literally, as a salesperson, as a marketing person, you don't know graphics, you don't know design, you're not going to create some fancy graphic to put on your LinkedIn. Just write a post, write 3 sentences, post a picture, go through your shop, take a picture of your shop or whatever it is, and then just put some words with it. I love seeing the installation videos, machinery companies, stuff like that, or companies that are like, hey, check out this picture of this machine I just got, just installed the new whatever. Those things get attention because people are going to be like, good job, man. That's the way to do it. You have to post something. You have to create something to get attention around it. I don't believe there's anything as bad attention, right? I mean, you could do bad things and get attention. Well, it's because of what you did. But at the end of the day, if you create something, if you're industrial sales and manufacturing, marketing, and technical side of things, you have to be creating something every single day, posting out there, because you don't know the time of when somebody sees it. So if you don't know the time when they see it, you don't know what's on their mind, you don't know what they're doing. You can call somebody today, they tell you no, 3 days later, 3 hours later, they have a meeting. Actually, we do need that. They're probably not going to call you back. That's why you have to create things on a consistent basis all the time, because you have to be relevant and you have to be in the right place at the right time. Selling industrial stuff, marketing industrial stuff is all about timing. People have a need today, they don't tomorrow. They don't have a need today, they do tomorrow. But if you're not creating enough stuff and you're not posting in the right spots, then you're never going to get the attention. So putting things on your website and waiting is a waiting game. If that's what you do, stop doing it. You have to bring people into it. You have to create stuff, go in front of them and pull them into it. And you have to do it by focusing on things like social on LinkedIn, engaging with your network, building out your network, creating content, putting it in front of them, sending them messages about your content, sending them things themselves, piece of content. Like that's what you need to do. So we're going to take a quick break and go to the comments section, and we will be right back in about 90 seconds.
What if they don't currently have a problem with a process or system? Will the approach still be effective?
If they don't have a problem, man, you can't solve it. So if you go into a sales call and you're like, hey, I want to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. Do you guys have any issues with it? They're like, nope. Don't sell the unsellable. Is homepage content the most important? So that brings up a good point. What you need to look at in your Google Analytics is your top landed pages. And the top landed pages are what page do people first see? And we always look at the top 10. And so is homepage usually the first of the top 10 landed on pages? Yes, it is usually. But it typically only represents no more than 50% of the total traffic that lands on that page first. Is only about 50% go to the homepage. 30, 45 minutes a day working on building out your network. And then I would spend 30 to 45 minutes a day engaging with your network. Assuming that you have deals already in the pipeline, current customers, you have meetings during the week, stuff like that, where it's pulling out your time to where you only have a few hours left over, then that's how I'd split it. Half your time focused on building your network, the other half of the time focused on engaging. All right, we're back and we're going to jump right into it because you guys have been awesome on LinkedIn. Love it when this happens. Leaving some comments in there. We'll show them up on the screen. Greta's saying agree. Greta agrees. Greta, you better agree. Greta is our business development manager. She knows how it is. She's been in industrial for a long time. She knows that it's all about getting attention. And there's ways to do it right and there's ways to do it wrong. Brian Swanson, I agree. Thanks, brother. Joe Del Preto, I agree. Brett have a comment. 100% attention is key. Even from that, they need to have the attention to the full offering, not just one specific thing that you do. That's right, Brett. the full offering. Like, some people, like, we've made the mistake here on our content. Like, I'm creating content so much and we're pushing out there. It's on YouTube and we started going live. This is now our, I think, 23rd, 25th live that we've done. And it's like, I didn't even know, people are messaging us and emailing us, I didn't even know that you guys did this, right? Because I don't talk about it a lot. And that's my mistake. That's why you'll hear on the shows where I talk about MFG Tribe, right? Because some people just don't know that this is what we do. They just think that I spent time doing this and that's it. So you have to understand the full offering. Like Brett's saying, the first step is get attention, right? However you do it, you could do it on one specific offering. Once you have that conversation with them, you need to make sure that they understand everything that it is that you do. Not pitch them everything, but you say, look, we provide solutions that blah, blah, blah. Like, you saw this one thing, this one service, this one product that we have. We have a whole fleet. Oh, you do? I didn't even know that. Or they'll say, I went to your website. Yeah, I did see all that stuff. Let's have a conversation. Like, that's when you really need to turn it into a sales type conversation. Rush Wars from Facebook says, what do you mean attention? Hopefully you understand Rush Wars, because this, after I explained it. Joel says, nice job, Kyle. Lots of good points. I wish everyone could hear this. I do too, Joe. I wish everybody can hear it. The only way that helps us out, get the message out, because all this stuff is for free, is for you guys commenting, what you're doing, which we love, sharing the content with people that you know, and telling people about, like, hey, you should check this guy out. You should check out this company and see what they're doing. They're putting some good value out there. So I appreciate you, Joe. Brett says, I'll be the first to admit that I haven't been placing the correct amount of focus or priority on producing LinkedIn content lately. What advice do you have for people that struggle to find the time to post or struggle to come up with value-added content to post? That's a great question, Brett, and you are not alone. I guarantee there's a lot of people that ask the same thing. So one thing you could do is block time on your calendar every single day. Like, your schedule, when things get away from you, that, like, let's say you get to the office at 8, from 8 to 9, like, it's a shit show. People are, like, you're catching up on stuff. People are emailing you. People are popping in your office. If you're remote, that maybe things get slower, or if you had standing meetings early in the morning, like, your schedule. And what I want you to do is look at your schedule and block 60 minutes of your day. You may think, dude, I can't afford 60 minutes. You can. Like, if your schedule is booked, you'll find a way to get it all done. Block out 60 minutes of time where you're not going to do anything else but focus on LinkedIn. And that's it. Whether it's building out your network, engaging with people, creating a post, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write a post. And it could be something so simple. Hopefully you've taken pictures. Hopefully you've got something other than words. But if all you have is words, you're just going to, like, what you need to realize is that most of the information that you guys and girls out there have in your brain, most people don't know. You think, like, no, everybody knows that. Like, no, they don't. And so since they don't, you take for granted the fact that you have that knowledge, and you think that it's not valuable to anybody else. It could be something as simple as, I was talking with this person last week and this question was asked, and here's how I answered it. That simple thing could help 3 people that day. But you think, like, that's not, like, nobody's going to want to listen to that. Just do it. Like, think about anything that's happened. If you're like, I can't come up with anything to push, like, that our company does to help solve problems, just look at your last week. What's a question somebody asked? What's something that you said to a potential customer or existing customer? And they were like, yeah, you know what? That helped me. And just tell that story. Just be like, hey, we had a situation. This guy came in and they had this problem. We solved it with this. It doesn't have to be a case study. It could be like, here's a common question that I get asked when I first talk to somebody. Here's a common misconception that's out there about here's how our technology is different. So if, like, you have technology that is not traditional and it's newer technology, it's solving problems. Hey, here's a common question I get. What's the difference between this way that everybody's been doing it to our way? Here's the answer in 3 sentences, right? Or maybe here's 5 questions and just spread them out. You don't have to spend that much time. Like, we've been going on this live for 25 minutes, right? And if you take out the intro and you take out the intro the intro video, the commercial break, all that stuff, I don't know, I've been talking for like 20 minutes. Literally underneath the camera right now, I have 2 bullet points. Why is it important? How to get it. That's it. I did not prepare for these things. Our Q&A shows on Mondays, not prepared for. Nick throws up the questions. I answer them as best I can. Because if I go into it and I start thinking about it and I get paralysis by analysis. I start overthinking. I want this thing to be perfect. Here's what I want to hit. I don't want to screw up. Don't even think of it like that, Brett. And anybody else that's dealing with that issue. Just be like, what's something that happened last week? Okay, I'm going to write that down, post it. But you got to block time. If you don't block time, this goes back to the How to Dominate in 2022 video. If you don't book out your schedule with time, other people will book it out for you. And I don't mean coworkers booking out your schedule saying we need these meetings, stuff like that, but you will find a way to not do what you're supposed to be doing. That's just the nature of the beast. Hopefully that answers your question, Brett. Great ways to gain attention. Thanks, Kyle. You got it, Jonathan. LinkedIn user. Sometimes like the LinkedIn user that you're seeing on the screen, it just doesn't come through StreamYard. I know that it was an actual person. Roy Haas. Roy, are you connected to Haas, the machine tool company? Because that would be insane. He says consistency. That's right. That's right, Roy. It is all about consistency. Everything in life is about consistency. You can work out today. If you don't do it every day, you're not going to get fit. You can eat good today. If you don't do it every day, you're not going to get healthy. You can start posting today on LinkedIn. If you don't do it every day or every other day, and you have no consistency, it doesn't mean anything. It's not something you can start and stop. Brett says, Roy H, I agree. I know that's what it takes, but from my end, I'm just having trouble getting started. I've been too busy creating and sharing quotes lately, so it's a good problem. Yeah, Brett, it is a good problem to have. And this is a common thing is people are like, how do I start? Dude, just start. Like literally just start. Just write something. Like if you really think about it, like if we were to break it down, most people in their lives, when they say, I didn't have time to do that, it's not a time thing. It's a priority thing. That wasn't priority. I've done it too. Like we're growing our business. We're expanding, adding new team members. We're going to be moving into a bigger office, way bigger studio. But if I said like, I don't have time like to do that, like I don't have time for this live, but this is a priority. So I make time for it. So you can make time for it. And it's like, how do I start, dude? Just write 3 sentences of something a problem, a conversation you had, tell a story, 3 to 4 sentences. That's it. Post it. Tell everybody to have a great week. Throw a picture up there if you want of yourself. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just do it. And once you do it once, it'll start in twice, and you start to do it every single day. You booked out that time. It'll start to be routine and consistency, and it'll just be second nature. Just like how this show is second nature for us. We used to shoot videos and then we would post them. Then we got access to going live. So now we're going live. It's like every Monday and Wednesday, this is the show. Unless something earth-shattering happens, this is where we're at, Mondays and Wednesdays at noon, doing some sort of live show. Brian left a comment. Brian said, that's a great point about the fact that we tend to assume people know what we know. Way too often they don't. Brian, you have an insane amount of knowledge, I guarantee, between your ears about whatever it is that you know the most about. Guarantee it. And yes, everybody takes that for granted. I thought that when I started creating content, I hate writing content. I thought about that too. I'm like, what do I really know? And I said, well, if I really break it down into categories, like I do know some things, then let's break it down even further. And you go down this path of like content strategy. You can dissect it. There's dozens of subjects that we don't talk about that I feel like I could create 1,000 videos for. Maybe one day we'll do that stuff. Brett says, death by perfection. I feel that. Thanks for the advice and motivation. You got it, Brett. Yeah, that's the thing. And paralysis by analysis, death by perfection. Like there is no such thing as perfect. I can create something. I think it's perfect. Nick doing the videos thinks it's perfect. You guys watch it. You say it sucks. We adjust and change. Anything creative is subjective to like whoever it is that's watching it. We've had people watch our videos and say they suck. We've created things and we're like, we're not in love with it. Send it to the customer. Like, I love this. This is exactly what we wanted. Okay. There's no need to waste time trying to be perfect. Somebody commented to you, Brett, I'm just becoming more active myself, learning as I go, using LinkedIn to promote products. Yeah. Yep. I don't know who that LinkedIn user is. Oh yeah, that was Roy. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, and here's the thing, Roy, don't just use it to promote, use it to engage, use it to create something of value, answer a question, ask a question of your network, post something about something that you guys learned. Like, don't just use it as a platform to push your stuff on, because that's like a one-sided relationship, and you also have to engage with people. So don't keep that. Don't forget about that. Joseph Thompson, agree 100%. One must set our time daily to gain the attention. As they say, out of sight equals out of mind. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Totally. It's like your desk is a mess. So what do? Shove it into the drawer below it. Now my desk is clean. Well, it's out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, but it's still a mess, right? So you have to set time for, like, people in your guys's roles. I know it dearly because I spent so much time in it. You can easily lose your day. Like, before you know it, you look up and you're like, oh my God, it's 1:00. What have I actually done today? I've just been fighting fires. I've been doing quotes. I've been answering customer complaints. I've been on a prospecting call, in internal meetings, dealing with production if you guys are in that department. And before you know it, your day's gone. So you have to book your time, block it up. For this hour, I'm only doing this. Don't call me. Set everything to do not disturb. I'm going on LinkedIn. I'm sharing content. I'm engaging with people. I'm going to send some messages. That's it. When it's done, it's done. Check it off. That's every single day. Just book the time out. Don't get paralysis by analysis is so true. I'm going to use that. Yeah, use that, Joe. Like, that's like the overthinking stuff. Just do it. Like, the first time we did videos, I was like, I don't know how it's going to look. Like, I think they're off of YouTube now, but I wish you guys could go back and see, like, the first video that we made. It was just garbage, but I just said, I'm just going to do it and figure the rest out later. So I appreciate you guys leaving those comments in there. And definitely be sure, hopefully I answered all of them well enough for you guys. Definitely be sure to go to the YouTube channel and subscribe and turn on those notifications, so that way you get notified. The way we do it now is we're inviting people into the lives and asking them to attend it, or you guys see it up on your notifications, pops up on LinkedIn. Hey, Kyle's live. Here's the subject. But the best way to do it, to be foolproof, not rely on LinkedIn, is go to the YouTube channel, turn on notifications. When I go live, you'll get a notification. But if you don't want to even do that, Mondays and Wednesdays at noon, here we are. Be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn if we're not already connected. Follow the YouTube channel, turn on notifications, check out the podcast. If you guys want to be listening to some stuff, content like this while you're cutting the grass or whatever, now it's starting to get warmer out, check it out on the podcast, Technical Sales and Marketing, or just search my name and subscribe to it. If you guys get value out of it, leave a review, because that helps us out. Share this content with somebody you know. That's the only way that we're getting the word out. We don't run advertisements. We don't push it very hard. We just come on here, share it with people that we think could get some value out of it, throw it up on YouTube, and kind of just move on with our day. And looking at the comments. Last comment here, Lucas James says, how has YouTube Live been treating you? Do you like it? Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like going live personally. The engagement that's there, sometimes it's hit or miss. I don't create it. Like, we don't have a big enough following. We don't have 1 million followers on LinkedIn. We don't have 1 million followers on YouTube. I wish that we did, and we're going to be working towards that. But I mean, it's good enough. It's all about creating content. It's all about going into it without I'm not doing this to get something in return. We're talking about a subject. We're creating some content. We're putting it out there. That's the way that we work. It doesn't work for everybody. Like, there's a strategy that, yes, the content that we make is strategic to a group of people. And yes, are we also in that space? But we don't create stuff expecting anything in return. It's just, we're going to go live. We're going to create these videos. We're going to create this content, push it out there. Hopefully it helps somebody. And it's just that good deed. And it comes back. Like, it's karma, man. Everything comes back to you as long as you're helping people. If you just go on LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and just say, hey, I'm just trying to get more revenue and increase stuff, it's not going to work. So we're going to close out the show, guys. Now, like I said, go to YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow me on LinkedIn, check out that podcast, leave us a review. If you got value out of this content, share it with anybody that you know, and we will see you on the next one.